Clownie Nerf.
Hey guys, so thanks for watching the episode of Clownie Nerf, and this is a part of an end war video that I never really got to do because I didn't really put it together in time because I got back from end war and it was kind of had some problems and stuff going, and then when I got there I may or may not make a video on that, but it's really kind of irrelevant because this thing is on the blaster that I took to end war that I spent my money on to build and time and paint that I didn't even freaking use because I was so worried it was going to get me killed in the first couple of minutes, what became irrelevant anyways because I didn't make it beyond the first day within more than a few hours or maybe an hour of actually starting the game. So this gun is on it's somewhat so far unnamed. I kind of tentatively call it Jam Master J because it likes to jam. It is my end war blaster. It is a Busby Rapid Fire 12 or something like that, I believe is what that was called, and then I slammed on a barrel from a Sledgefire, and the stock, which is uber comfortable always, and same from a Long Strike, which was actually this blaster from to begin with. It was like this, and it had the giant orange cage which I cut down to a ring on the front of the thing because I decided I wasn't going to go through all this to make the thing. I actually am kind of proud of the way this thing turned out. I was quite happy with it. I currently don't have batteries inside right now because they're sitting over here. And when I do the internal stuff, I'll give you guys firing up and things like that. It runs off Rhinos, I believe, because I can't quite remember. It's whatever the 130 make test battles are. And then the stock cage and a pair of, I believe, worker aluminum. Yeah, because it's been so long since I've actually done this. This has been filmed before, and that's going to be two parts. It's going to be a little choppy when we go inside. I had a bit. This is actually my first time ever making a flywheel blaster, and I didn't do such a bad job. It's just always a learning curve. Paint job itself, because we'll go over the obvious, is black and green tactical. I was going to put some ODT brown on it. I decided not to, but I wanted to have something special to it, so I went and added all these neat little, they're not really stickers, they're like pieces of cards and things like that that I cut up and removed and added them to it as sticker-ish. They just kind of got glued on to the blaster. And, you know, big old Deadpool, because Deadpool's awesome. A little G.I. Joe, Cobra symbol, another Deadpool. And then I put it on there to make this tactical and spawn and like this. This is actually my favorite part of the entire thing was really the little G.I. Joe symbol up here under the side of it. And it just made kind of like really cool. Brought me back to my childhood on that kind of thing for some reason, because a neat little G.I. Joe symbol there. It took a lot of work to come up with, and it still doesn't fire properly, even though I've doubled up on the return spring and replaced the trigger forward spring and greased and modified all the trigger mechanisms. It still requires you to pull all the way through. And even with the brassing of the barrels to increase the dart fit, because I had to drop the darts back, because the standard Busby does not take Nerf darts very well. They get hung up on the front of the thing going in. So I had to cut out the back of it and drop the brass all the way to the back of this thing, which was absolutely terrifying because there wasn't a whole lot of clearance issues. And you know, it's only cut like that only on one side too, because I am right-handed, so I wanted to make sure I could keep loading with that. And because I'm right-handed, I put the rev switch up here for some reason. It's really, really comfortable there. It's just nice. I had it under here on the trigger, I mean on the handle, and it didn't shoot. It just didn't feel right. I had so many issues with it, just the way it felt. It just was bizarre. So I kept putting my hand up here, and I'm like, screw it, it's my blaster, I'm putting the rev switch up here. So that's what I did. And it turned out pretty nice with it up there like that, I gotta say. It's actually pretty comfortable. I do feel bad that I never really got a chance to use this thing, but it's because of the way the flywheel cage is set up in it. There is the flywheels that are in it when it comes are very long, so it catches the dart as it comes straight out. This thing, however, when it's in here, has a almost a 1/4 inch or 3/8 maybe of an inch tip between the two of them. So my flywheels in this are actually up here, and then the darts, instead of coming in here, they come in down here. So they have a tendency to go up and go like that out the end of the barrel, and they kind of start to flip over. That, with the added problems of having to pull all the way through and then back, it doesn't really like to shoot well. It's probably easily fixed with a dart guide, but I just haven't got around to doing it yet, and I probably won't get around to doing it anytime soon, or probably any time at all for that matter, because I just don't use it that often, because it was kind of a disappointment to go with this thing and play. I didn't, for some reason, I know it's just kind of fun, but it was such a hassle to go over and build it that I never really could justify getting over on the thing. But it does need to be finished, which is kind of also my final thoughts on the blaster as well. But we're going to cut to a little internal thing, and then I'll set up the Clownie here and give you guys some Clownie shots with it that at the end of this video, so you guys can have that information, because everybody wants to know what the feet per second is, because it's, like I said, it's running on 130 Rhinos off 2S, and I did pick up some Shell 2.0s because they were the hot thing right then when they came out. I just have them for another project, and I'm not going to drop them in this thing anytime soon until I probably buy some more, or maybe overhaul the blaster when I get the urge to do so. So we'll cut to the internal shots here, and little explanations of that, and then we'll post some Clownies at the end of this thing. So, as always, guys, remember, Clownie's watching, and watch the rest of this video. Okay, and as promised, here's a little close view of the blaster here. That you can see I didn't quite get the putty up where it was going to be the smoothest of things that I really wanted to work on, and unfortunately I lost a big piece of it. It just kind of popped loose and fell somewhere. So when I go to resync that, that'll be taken care of. It is just your standard tactical paint job. I'll give it a spin here so you don't have to crank your head up. Nothing absurdly special. I think the paint turned out okay. I'm not particularly fond of it. Brush strokes are very visible, and spots in the, well, it fogged over quite a bit when I tried to paint it, which was a bit of a problem for me. It just kind of really irritated the hell out of me. But it really does look alright. I mean, it was okay for my first paint job in a long time. I gotta say, this is my favorite thing that's on there right now. There's a little G.I. Joe sticker that sits there on the bottom, and my kill switch that's up on top. Another little Deadpool guy here. I think he's turned out to actually be pretty good and invaluable, although there are still 6 clips. So I'm going to quickly pull the screws then, and we're going to take a look inside to show you guys what I'm exactly running on this stuff here, which I may or may not have already stated, because I'm kind of filming these things out of sequence. So hang tight, guys. Okay, and I've got all my screws and stuff out here, and I forgot there was quite a bit in here. Now, if I remember correctly, when I go to open this thing up, it's going to want to have the stuff on the other side. I think it's kind of a tight pinchy too, so bear with me here, because once it was closed, I didn't expect to really have to open this blaster again, and I think I got all the screws out. The problem is that the blaster is made of 2 or 3 different ones, and the screws aren't all on the same side. So, oop, I don't like that sound. It's up by the barrel. Why is the barrel not coming loose? Oh boy. Looks like I might have forgotten one after all. right down near the base. No, it's still good. Okay, look, it just wants to be noisy and fall apart that way. So here's to not breaking. Ah, oh, good. Okay, I was right. And as you can see, it is the boring side of the turrets and everything. And these, like I said, were all brass breached, so I could have a better fit off of them. And then you can see there's also a little spacer right here to advance it forward, because I was having some problems with dart jamming, which it still likes to do, and I think that's just the way Busby made these things in order to do so. Now, the part I guess you guys will be somewhat interested in is dragging around the little 2S LiPo here, and I'm gonna disconnect that, put that over here for the moment so I don't keep dragging it around, is the actual working guts of the blaster, which really isn't anything. Once I take the shroud off the front here, only thing I'm left with is the basic wire internals, which really aren't too much of anything special on these things, because, well, it's a Busby and there's not a lot to really go with it. So we'll give it a spin, because I keep forgetting how to do this. Power pack runs out from the 2S LiPo inside up to the part where I have a switch up here that is a little kill switch, which is supposed to LED, but I needed a kill switch in case I had it down, to a set of worker aluminum flywheels, which are absolutely beautiful. I love the sound of them. And then some Make Test Battle 130 Rhinos, and whatever clicky switch was purchased off of the Art of Darts site. I'm not entirely sure which one it was. I did buy a few of them, but it seems to hold the voltage and everything just fine. You can see the inside of this thing is an utter and abysmal mess. The wiring is subpar. It is still 18 gauge, but it is just ugly as sin, as being the first one that I ever wired. And you can see the goes right out the front here for my rev switch, because I couldn't find a good spot to put it down on there for some reason. It just didn't seem to agree with me. And well, I guess since I have it open here, we'll give it a quick little rev with these things open. Switch on and kill switch. Isn't that fun? I love the sound of that. It just lined up so much easier. It would be a lot easier to deal with. But it didn't matter. It didn't get a lot of play anyways, like none. So that's the internals of my blaster. We'll go back, I'll glue this thing back together, and we'll have the, I guess, the obligatory final walkover of this thing. So hang tight, guys. Okay, so space is really tight in my little shop. So hopefully you guys will be able to see how this works out here, because I haven't tested this thing out with any other blaster yet, because I want it to be more or less have its cherry broken with this blaster here, and we can hear it rev quick. Probably going to drown everything else out. And once again, I need to thank Adam Fowler from Blow No Nerf for sending me this Clownie, which is probably one of the this is one of those gifts that you just can't enough of, because it's too freaking cool. It's seriously gonna up my game on my channel here. It's sad that I've waited this long to actually use it on video. So let's give her a try, guys. See what we get. And we got 6-shot loaded, brand new AccuStrike darts. Brand new ones. I don't even remember what they came with. They just in a package with something. So earphone warning, guys. And it jammed, which was why I didn't use it at End War, and I'll just show you guys exactly how it jams. because you're going to like this. You see that? Right there. That's what it does. Folds the darts over because of the way the flywheels are reached inside of it. So looks like I was getting 132 feet per second before it finally just decided to putz out on me, because here's another dart that's must be stuck. Yep, there it is. Alright, we're gonna run the last one through here just because I can, because why not? I got them sitting here, and then we're gonna have some more fun with the Clownie for later videos. Earphone warning again. Put the thing in position. Hold on to your ears. I don't even know what happened that time. That was an abysmal failure. Just kind of like pooped right in there. I'm determined to make this one shoot. Earphones. Nope. Still wants to jam up. So, right there's your answer as to why I didn't use it at End War, guys. Jesus. Oh. Let me know what you think, what I could do to fix this thing. Because I've heard some pretty neat ideas. I'd like to know. Before that, it was actually throwing the flywheels off, but that's another issue. So, it's your Uncle Clownie saying thank you, fella, for this wonderful gift, which is long overdue on video, twice for actually being used. And then, you guys got to see that, so I just completely bought my outro, didn't I? Peace, guys.